Lori, thank you so much. That was the first time I got to pick a song. I was like so excited. And you know, when I was in, I think it was high school, and I used to have a poster up on my bedroom wall that had Einstein on it, and he said, "Imagination is more important than knowledge." And it was my favorite quote, and this has to be one of my all-time favorite songs. It, it, um, it epitomizes what we believe, that the world can change as we change within ourselves, and that, you know, imagination is the key to our curiosity and wonder and unfoldment of the mysteries of spirit. And I'm absolutely grateful for that song. Thank you so much. And and I want to start with this. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers. And I wanted to acknowledge that many times families are built from a father that does not have a mother, or a mother that does not have a father in the household. And so I think sign language says so much because it goes like this. The representation of father is this, head of the household. Mother is down here. And that makes total sense, the nurturer. We nurture through our mouths, feeding, talking, loving. But the father is the leader. Your grandfather is your father's father, and your great-grandfather is your father's father's father. And I wanted just to acknowledge all of you in the house that have stood in a place of leadership and guidance for those who need it. No matter if you're an aunt, an uncle, a cousin, a friend, who puts forth their energy, their courage, and their love to stand in the place of leadership and of guidance for other souls on this planet. Thank you. Namaste. For this day, I honor you. So, as I usually start my sermons, I would like us, or I invite you, to go within and decide what you would like to receive this morning by the beautiful messages, through the music, and through any person that you see, talk to, and touch their lives today. So let us go, again, I invite you, within for 20 seconds to find an intention that you want to have today and put it in your pocket to use for the rest of the week. Are you ready? Here we go. Take a deep breath in and release. Deep breath in and release. Last one. Deep breath in and release. Thank you. So today is Holy Boldness for the whole month. So I looked up in the Webster's Dictionary and also in the Bible about the word holy. Holy is something that is sacred, divine, puts you in awe, is spiritually pure. It is being in reverence, and it is only done because of who we are. We are holy by faith and by knowing, not by merit. And I think that's important, that grace isn't by merit. Our divinity is by design, divine design. That is who we are. That is the purity of spirit. And that is what makes it holy. In Aramaic, it is the language that Jesus spoke. The word glory and holy are used interchangeably. And when it was interpreted in Aramaic, it means divine spirit or divine spirituality. So that is the preface, holy. The next word is boldness. Boldness, courage, bravery, fearlessness, and in the Bible, spirit empowered by grace, by confidence. Boldness is considered a character of oneself. And now, I am going to talk about my story of the week. I always have a story of the week. It seems to me that whenever I get an opportunity and I'm honored to speak before you, something always happens in the week that...
No broken bones, I hope.
No broken bones, no stolen car. But there's always something that assists me in going a little bit deeper. And so this week, it was about parenting. Oh, baby. I adopted, when they were teenagers, two boys and a girl. Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, my blessed foster children have some developmental disabilities, some challenges, like we all do. And there was a situation where there was an accident. Not the fault of my kids, not the fault. But they did not tell me the truth about what was destroyed so that I can handle it so it wouldn't get worse and cost a whole lot more money. So when I found out that every week I was asking them, how is this? Fine, everything's great. Everything's fine. It wasn't. So, so I got angry. Anybody in here get angry? So with holy boldness, I had a caveat that instead of continually to try to teach them the right thing to do and the lesson, I slowed down a bit. Because I am here trying to learn the tools that we teach here of spirituality, and it's an uphill battle a lot of times. It's not effortless. It takes work. And what I realized, how perfectly it went into the topic, was this. It is hard when we make mistakes. It is hard because the world tends to want to shame us for making a mistake. And at least I, am really tough on myself. I can have a lot of shame about what I did wrong or say the wrong thing, especially if it's in public and everyone gets to see my shame. So, I'm embarrassed to say this, but I started using old parenting skills of anger and shame. But I stopped. That's the win. I stopped. And I listened. And what I heard was this, that it's scary to tell the truth because it's not always safe to tell the truth. And I look around at our politics and I look around in the world and I say, why don't they stand for truth, for the goodness of life, for the betterment of everyone? Why don't we stand for truth? And when I say truth, I don't mean opinions or belief systems. I mean something deeper that we know intrinsically, something spiritually, something of spirit, that instinctively we understand what the big T of truth is. Is what I'm doing harming someone? Is what I'm doing shaming someone? Is what I'm doing judging someone, right? And it is in perfect order that it's Father's Day, because I think whoever's the head of the household has a lot of responsibility. However, how do we carry that? How do we move? Do the words in our mouths, do the tongue in our mouth and the tongue in the shoe go the same direction? Are all those sweet, yes, are we talking our talk? Are we walking the talk? What else? Sorry about that. So when the tongue in our shoe and the tongue in our mouth are going in the same direction, we're in alignment, right? We're in alignment with what we believe. Many times our sweet words don't match our actions. So that was my dilemma. And I slowed down, I took breaths, and I realized when I listened, I heard that it wasn't safe in my presence to tell the truth because they were afraid of getting in trouble. Now, I think that's pretty normal. Most of us hide our mistakes because we don't want to get in trouble or be shamed or embarrassed. The problem is we all want to be courageous. We all want to be the hero of our own story. We want to have character. We want to have people think well of us. And that's a lifetime of actions. And so as I sat there, I realized that it's not because I do anything wrong, it's just the way I sometimes react when I'm angry. But I wanted to have a tool for them to understand this. You can hide what you've done wrong, made a mistake, took the wrong path, but in the end result, how do you feel about hiding? How do you feel about avoiding taking responsibility? What is the end result? It's usually not any better than the shame and the embarrassment of taking responsibility. Boldness is courage. How do we get that courage? And I think it's like this. I think we have to reframe our mistakes. Sin in the Bible in Aramaic means to miss the mark in archery. So it's that we miss the mark. We don't hit our bullseye all the time, right? So I said, do you want to be a hero in your own story? They go, yep. And I said, courage takes vulnerability. Without vulnerability, you cannot have courage. And do we teach men and women that it's okay to be vulnerable, especially men? No, because there is no courage that doesn't take risk. That's why we call it courage. And there's always the fear that something bad can happen when we step out of our comfort zone, or when we go forward into something that's unfamiliar. And so vulnerability is a necessity for courage and boldness, the ability to risk. And the key is that when we're vulnerable, we do not know if the risk is going to annihilate us or not in one way or another. And sometimes, even when we take the risk and the vulnerability to tell the truth, it doesn't always work out so well. So why do it? And I thought we do it because when we lay our head at night on our pillow, we feel good about who we are. And there's no shame when we take responsibility. So yes, it may not feel good right away, but to be the hero in our own story, to use these tools, that is what compassionate tools are, is realizing that we all make mistakes in leadership, and we all need compassion and vulnerability, and to make it okay. To make it okay, that's what these spiritual tools are. Holy boldness, holy, the ability to have a spiritual tool that says, by grace there I go, not by merit. So right there it says there is nothing we need to do. There is nothing we need to do to have grace. There's nothing we need to do to have great compassion from a spiritual perspective. And that in this human form, in this human body, that is the essence of forgiveness. There are some things that seem unforgivable. And I can't even imagine to try to judge that, because there are some very painful things. As we look at the war in the Gaza Strip, People turning against people, and when is enough punishment, and why punish the people who are run by a government because of other decisions. It's just so sad that we're caught in this quagmire because we do not rise above it on a spiritual level. Because if we continue to live on a higher plane, we have a bigger picture. So today I ask you, are you willing to be vulnerable? Are you willing to be vulnerable and be courageous? Even though the outcome at first may not look as shiny and perfect as you wished it could be. Because it is our individuality and our actions that say, why don't they tell the truth? Why don't they stand for truth? Do we stand for truth? Do we know how hard it is to climb that mountain? We do. And therefore, if we can look at that, I feel we could find great compassion for one another. So the holiness is the sacredness that just by being here, that there is a divine source, and it is the love the essence of love that's already in us, that needs no merits. You don't get to earn it. It's the isness of who we are. Isn't that wonderful? You don't have to do anything to know that you are loved by being here. We don't have to show people how much money we have, how beautiful we are, how strong we are, how handsome we are. It is by our hearts and our actions that we are known. And as I get older, I realize how important character is and how important it is to know that people trust you because you've proven within your own heart and mind to stand for truth and do the right thing. It is a wonderful byproduct to know that you have a good character and that you have trust. Those are the elements why we should tell the truth. Those win out in the end. And for Father's Day, I think that's where the honor comes from, is to honor our fathers and to know, yes, they have made mistakes. But in that, look at who you are today. Look at your character and your life. And that's the gratitude. Just as Spirit gives us without any merit or any good deeds, we are loved. Let us find that holy boldness within us to be compassionate and to tell what's on our hearts and to stand for the big T. Thank you. I would like to go into a prayer right now, knowing that there is only one power, one presence, one wonderful essence that flows through all of life, and you are it, and I am it. And as we move through this beautiful, beautiful planet, we carry the tools of compassion, of love, and then we can see more beauty. We can see more of life's joy because we're present in the here and now, saying yes to our highest and our best. And knowing that it is by divine design that we are here in this body, to love and to cherish one another. And even though we have to climb that mountain and it can be very difficult, it is worth the journey. And in knowing that we are gifted with this beautiful life and this beautiful love, and as we pass it on to all those that we care for, let us expand our hearts and expand our minds to possibilities, to our imagination of what could be, what can be. Let's discuss possibility, not who's better, who's worse, but possibility. Possibility to make things that have never been before. And in that thinking is the creation of our future and our moment. And I am so divinely blessed to be here with you and to say, and so it is.